Could Shawn Michaels be finally coming out of retirement after 8 long years? Let me tell you how it can happen and why it probably will happen. What's up, folks? Fred Richani, TSC, your home for pro wrestling news updates, interviews, and everything in between. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. There have been multiple reports, most notably from WrestlingObserver.com's Dave Meltzer, that the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, WWE Hall of Famer, could, and most likely will, come out of retirement to take on Undertaker and Kane by teaming up with his old DX stablemate, Triple freaking H. That's right. We could get D-Generation X versus the Brothers of Destruction, but not at Survivor Series, but not at Royal Rumble, but not at SummerSlam, but not at WrestleMania. No. We could be getting Triple H and HBK versus Undertaker and Kane at Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? That's right. Because Meltzer reports that it is official that it's going to be Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement for the first time since WrestleMania 26 over 8 years ago for big money to compete live on the WWE Network as part of WWE Saudi Arabia extravaganza titled Crown Jewel. You may recall that they just announced the main event, which is Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman in a triple threat match for the Universal Championship. There's also going to be a WWE World Cup taking place that very event. Holy doodle squat. Now, I'm sure some of you guys have heard these rumors before. I'm sure we've heard, about, Shawn Michaels going to face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Maybe they do Shawn Michaels versus The Rock. But this is the closest we may ever get to a true Shawn Michaels comeback. And it makes perfect storyline sense, as weird as it might be, where it's taking place. Because in recent weeks, Undertaker's been appearing on Raw. He's been chastising Triple H. Triple H has gotten on the mic chastising The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels came out to hype up the match being Undertaker versus Triple H at Super Showdown. By the way, before I keep going here, if you're confused about what the hell is going on with WWE programming, you ain't the only one. I'm a hardcore fan. I am a hardcore observer of this great business. And man, I can't even keep up. Forget the outside wrestling that's going on. There's so much great outside wrestling. But in WWE right now, they are promoting the following: Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT on a weekly basis. On top of that, they just had Hell in a Cell. On top of that, they currently have the Mae Young Classic. On top of that, they have the upcoming WWE Evolution pay-per-view, which is the first ever WWE all-women's event. Then, we have the Saudi Arabia show. And actually, before the Saudi Arabia show, before WWE Evolution, we have Super Showdown, which I believe is actually airing at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from Melbourne, Australia, in a big, jam-packed stadium on the WWE Network October 2nd. Or is it October 2nd? Is it October 6th? Actually, October 6th is Super Showdown. October 28th is WWE Evolution. And November 2nd is the Saudi Arabia show, WWE Crown Jewel, which likely will not feature any women, which might be why they're doing a women's show just a few days before. Just saying. Anyway, did you get all that? Nope. I don't blame you. So, we have Undertaker versus Triple H. They are claiming it's the last time ever. I guess if they're going to do a tag match at Crown Jewel, that means it's going to be the last time ever in a singles match, not a tag match. But you know how WWE is. And so what's been happening is Shawn Michaels came out, hyped up the match, Triple H versus Undertaker at SSD. And Undertaker came out, dissed Shawn Michaels, dissed Triple H. Shawn Michaels said he stayed retired out of respect for The Undertaker. For those that may not recall, Shawn Michaels lost a retirement match to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26 in the main event. Classic feud, classic match. And Undertaker said, you retired because it's something along the lines of, you're retired because you're scared of me. So Undertaker is poking the bear that is the Heartbreak Kid. And not only that, but HBK is going to be in the corner of Triple H at Super Showdown and in the corner of The Undertaker is none other than the big red machine / mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, Kane. And how hilarious is this, right? Kane is allegedly competing in Saudi Arabia, which politically might not be popular, but he got WWE to donate over $100,000 to hurricane victims in his area. That guy's a genius politician, whether you disagree with him or not. So now the question is, or there's a few questions here about Shawn Michaels. Why is now the time to come back? Why is now the time for Shawn Michaels to come back? Well, one, he's now a trainer at NXT. And the dude is in phenomenal shape, and he's a wrestler at heart. And I'm sure as a guy that's taken care of himself over the years, that's probably healed up a lot of his injuries over the years, albeit, with Father Time, not on his side, I'm sure he looks around and says, you know what? I could have a match like Johnny Gargano. I could have a match like Tommaso Ciampa. Damn it, I want one more go at it. Which as an athlete, as a performer, I can completely understand and respect. But here's the second reason why he's likely coming back. The money. WWE, while they didn't outright state it in their earnings reports, it is believed that WWE is getting around at least 40 to maybe like $45 million to do like 2 shows, 2 glorified house shows in Saudi Arabia. That is bananas. And Shawn Michaels is not only one of the biggest stars of all time in WWE land, but he is one of Vince McMahon's all-time favorites. Vince McMahon, I think at one point looked at Shawn Michaels kind of like a son. He might still look at him like a son. So you better believe that if Shawn Michaels is finally coming out of retirement, and at all places he's coming out of retirement at WWE Crown Jewel, you better believe that dude is getting paid. I'm talking 7 figures. I'm talking maybe 2 million. I'm talking maybe 3 million. You never know. Maybe he's getting that Brock Lesnar money in one lump sum. You really don't know because the economics have changed. They've changed between the Saudi Arabia deal and the gigantic $2+ billion with the B dollar TV deal coming up in 2019 with USA Network and Fox. So, man, I don't blame him. It's a tag match. All 4 guys, relatively safe workers. Obviously, things can happen, but it's a nice tune-up match for HBK. And then the question after that match occurs, assuming it does occur, is what would be next? Would Shawn Michaels actually make another run? Maybe enter into Royal Rumble, much like Goldberg did a couple years ago. Maybe have one more big singles match at WrestleMania. And then the other major question is, against who? It could be, again, against The Undertaker in a retirement match. Now, I don't want to personally see that because, while I love Undertaker, I love Shawn Michaels, I think the story already kind of wrote itself. But it does make sense. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. If it's Undertaker's last match at WrestleMania 35, MetLife Stadium, my neck of the woods in New Jersey, I think it'd be fitting. I think it would be fitting. At the same time, if Undertaker is no longer going to wrestle after that, and you don't know, or if he just wants to put over somebody on his way out, why not make it Braun Strowman? Right? Why make it Shawn Michaels? I mean, Shawn Michaels will give him a better match, but I'm just saying it's weird to me. Like, you have Shawn Michaels. We've seen Undertaker, Shawn Michaels multiple times. Their best days are behind them. I'm sure they'll have the crowd in the palm of their hands, but their best days are behind them. I would love to see Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan. I would love to see Shawn Michaels versus Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. Hell, if you can make it happen, if you can move the sun, the moon, the earth, whatever the case may be, if you can make this match happen I'm about to pitch, I think it would be gigantic. Shawn Michaels versus The Rock. Now, that is one dream match, one match that WWE was never able to put together. The stars never aligned. And with rumors that The Rock might actually want to wrestle at WrestleMania 35, instead of booking him against Roman Reigns, which would still be probably a hell of a match and do big business, do the Legends fight, okay? Give us the super fight. UFC, they never gave us Anderson Silva versus George Rush St. Pierre. Oh, they did not. But in pro wrestling, we could get the super fight, HBK versus The Rock. That is what I would personally do if there is even a modicum of a possibility that that could occur. That's what I would do. The alternative would be Shawn Michaels versus a young guy, or a younger guy, I should say, like a Daniel Bryan, like a Seth Rollins, because at the end of the day, it makes perfect sense to use those big stars for big business, but I would also love to see these current stars finally be elevated to a platform that is at least remotely equivalent to those stars that have been romanticized from the past, like an HBK, like an Undertaker, and maybe just by the nature of WWE's awkward, inconsistent, at times really bad booking, that can never happen in this climate where they just care about producing content more than they care about building storylines. I don't know, but I would love to live in the world where one of these days, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we look at Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Braun Strowman, guys like that as mythical, as romanticized, like we do the stars of the Attitude Era. But hey, that might be wishful thinking. And now, my final question is to all of you. Should Shawn Michaels come back? I would love to hear your thoughts on this, so please do so by leaving a comment below, tweeting me at Sports Courier, Facebook.com/The Sports Courier. Join the discussion. The more I hear, the more I can understand where y'all are coming from and express that in WWE land. Because at the end of the day, yeah, it's about the money for WWE, but they don't got the money without the fans, and I would love to hear from the fans. So let me know, leave a comment below. Do what you got to do, and if you enjoyed this recap, please like, share, take care. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications for more WWE news videos. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the matches. Heartbreak Kid coming back. Whew. Gonna be crazy, but let's face it, I think we'll all believe it when we finally see it.